We're back with Robin Campaniano, President and Chief Executive Officer of AIG Hawaii Insurance Company. At what point in your life did you decide to really get involved with the nonprofit organizations?
Well, you know, when I was 18, I was Hawaii's youngest big brother. So perhaps around then I started.
And what do you say to the younger generation that's saying, you know, I'm trying to balance college, my social life, and then you want me to volunteer? And then the other generation who's trying to balance their family and their careers and move up the ladder.
Mm-hmm. I never ask anybody or force anybody to volunteer. If they don't feel it, they're not going to do it. Balancing life, balancing a career and family, and throwing on community service on top of that is a very daunting challenge for anybody. And I would not put that on anybody's back. Certainly the career and the family are much more important than going to help somebody else. And if you can't help yourself, you're really not going to be able to help somebody else. But I noticed that this generation, the upcoming generation, is very adept, very much in tune with the concept of reaching out to others, not being really selfish. And I think that will play out in time with people, young people, just stepping to the plate when they have to, when they have the ability. But I would never ask anybody to sacrifice family to go help some community organization.
Why would you say it's important for people to get involved in organizations like YPO or even nonprofit boards?
I think the skill level you get, from a very, let's say, basic level all the way up to high-level strategic management can be obtained by serving for a nonprofit organization. It doesn't necessarily have to be for a board. It could be a fundraiser or an event or just doing a charity walk. There are a lot of things that can be learned. So aside from the good feeling you get from really trying to do something to help our community, you can learn an awful lot from participation in some nonprofit organization. It doesn't have to be looking specifically for a major Aloha United Way sponsored agency. It could be working for somebody's your church or your child's soccer team. It starts small, it could grow big. And these things not only feel very good, but they teach you a lot of organizational skills. And last thing, it'll give you a lot of good opportunities to meet other people of similar sorts. It'll expand your network, to quote an overused term.
Would you consider yourself a lucky person?
Yes, but I also say that you make your own luck. Yeah.
Well, how do you get more lucky then?
You work hard and create those opportunities. And I've got to look back, because I don't think I've ever interviewed really for a job. Jobs have been just thrown at me. Said, hey, we want you to do this. You want to do this. And it's not because people are flippantly looking at me and saying, let's just give it to him. There's got to be something there. What it is, I don't know.
Can you rub some of it off on us?
Oh, yeah.
What is it that you wanted to do when you were growing up as a child?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I think earlier we talked about me wanting to go save the world by being a photojournalist or a translator for the UN. When I graduated high school, I wanted to cut glass. I wanted to be a glazier. My uncle had a very successful, was a very successful contractor who installed glass. I was going to do shower doors and cut glass and put in jalousies and do aluminum frames. That was what I thought I was going to do. Quite frankly, I did not have much encouragement from my counselors at high school, and there were very few in my family that had even thought about going to college, much less ending up there.
So what would you say so far has been your greatest life accomplishment?
My greatest accomplishment? Raising a family and getting them on the right track. You want to know what my greatest business accomplishments were?
Sure.
When I was insurance commissioner, I think I pulled off an agreement where the entire state regulation system would no longer allow insurance companies to charge the same rates for insurance policies. Up until that time, insurance companies would go to the commissioner together and say that we're going to charge X dollars for for this policy, and they would all be the same. That's how insurance companies did business. We changed that in 1988 to make sure that insurance companies had to come up with their own pricing. And I think I was the lead commissioner that was instrumental in pulling off that. So we changed the whole way we made insurance competitive in the entire United States due to committee work that I was involved with. Very quiet, very unspoken thing, but I pulled it off.
Well, thank you so much, Robin, for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate that.
Thanks for joining us today on Greater Good Radio. For more information or a transcript of today's show, please visit us online at greatergoodradio.com. This is your host, Evan Leong and Carrie Leong, saying please join us next time for another episode of Greater Good Radio, Hawaii.